Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for requesting this private session that Jaymee and I are going to do. And I believe we are going to focus on anxiety today. Who could not use help with that? I don't know anybody. So, um, what specifically about anxiety do you think your listeners are struggling with? Or what are you personally struggling with? Because I'd really like to see you experience a transformation here today also.
Yeah, for sure. I think, just there's this general anxiety around being a mom, right? Because you have all this pressure of like, I want to be a good mom. I want to, excel. And a lot of times when you're, especially in the beginning stages of motherhood, you have a new baby and it's supposed to be this happy time of your life, but yet you feel kind of overwhelmed and stressed and like anxious, and not that this is and almost guilty because it's supposed to be, this like wonderful time of your life, right? But it's often really stressful for a lot of moms. So I think that's definitely an anxiety that many moms face. And then there's just also the general anxiety that every mom will face in their life as a mother, dealing with things like, when their kids get sick, or what if I have a mental breakdown, that sort of stuff. Yeah. Right. So there's lots of different things that moms face when it comes to anxiety and, just kind of that feeling of dread that likes to hang out in our minds.
What tends to be the worst feelings that you have regarding anxiety, or the things that trigger it the most for you?
Oh my goodness. For me, anxiety is always like hanging out, waiting to like knock on my head and and come visit. So I had postpartum anxiety quite bad with my son. Granted, that was almost 8 years ago, right? So it was a while ago. But generally speaking, anxiety is something that's just always been there. I think from before I had my son, it's just kind of something that hangs out. So that's definitely something that I've struggled with. Some of the triggers for me are just really like almost situational. I also have some birth trauma, PTSD that I work through from having my son. We were severe preeclamptic pregnancy. So we went through quite a lot. So there's some things there, like different things will set me off with, PTSD, like different sounds or smells or whatever. Mm-hmm. So those are things that I work on. And I think one of the most annoying things is, and people with anxiety will know, when you're kind of in the spiral and it's like you're going down and you worked so hard, right, to get out of it. And then all of a sudden you're like, like down the stupid hole. And then it's so hard to get out of it again. So I think that's one thing that really bothers many of us for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything today, right now, that you're feeling anxious about?
At this moment, I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm tired, but that's
tired. Okay. I'm trying to find a way to get you to gauge. I'm going to use a scale of 0 to 10, where like 0 is not anxious at all and 10 is really anxious. And I'm just trying to figure out what negative thing we can dial in on for you where you're going to notice a shift.
Okay. Let me think about it. Can we like focus on like a physical thing, or is that?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So I did get a concussion. Ooh. I'm recovering from a concussion.
When was that?
It was, oh my goodness, the end of May.
Okay.
And I'm in like long-term recovery for it. So it's quite a pain in the butt, right? So I have the recovery, which has been really tough. I see a brain doctor at a concussion clinic and all of that fun stuff. So one thing that is bothering me at this very moment is I have a headache. So that's something that I think we could potentially work on.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I definitely want to serve your audience about the anxiety, but I also know that EFT really favors specificity. So, can't work on everything in one round or do it all in a really short period of time, but all of those things are definitely things that can be worked on. Yeah. So when you think about your concussion recovery, how much stress or anxiety do you feel about that at the moment between a 0 to 10?
Goodness, quite a bit, actually, because it's frustrating to me. So one thing that I always struggle with my anxiety is the feeling of like, I want to be over this now. And it's kind of translated into my concussion recovery, because it's not something I can just force myself to be better with, right? So it's brain injury, it's long recovery, it's frustrating and overwhelming, and it really can get a hold of my anxiety. And the two of them just like to go pair up and make me feel grumpy and tired. So there's definitely that. I would say for me right now, like obviously I work with postpartum people, obviously, but that's not my venue at this very moment in my life. For me right now, it's this concussion and not being able to, do the things that I would normally do, like with my kids. Like we're nearing the end of summer and I feel like we haven't been able to do any of those fun things. So there's just those feelings of like frustration and anxiety around like, how long is this going to take?
All right.
Yeah.
We're going to pivot a little bit here then, and we're going to kind of go towards that. But this will serve anxiety also. But I know I can get you some great results too. I will say this, that when you're dealing with something like this, it might not be an immediate effect that you notice. You might have some things that you notice immediately, but it can happen gradually over time, the way that it kind of settles in. Yeah. So some things are more tangible or some things are less tangible when you're working with EFT. But you have a number of tangible things here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by tapping on the side of the hand. I'm just going to have you do follow the leaders. I'm going to say something, you're going to say it back. I'm going to tap different things and you're just going to tap the same thing that I'm tapping. And we will move through this. So did you give me a number 0 to 10? I don't think you did.
For anxiety?
Yeah, for the concussion stuff.
Oh, for the concussion, probably like a 5, maybe.
Okay. You're feeling a good amount of it. All right, cool. All right. So take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as we work through this, I just want you to keep whatever pain, frustration, anxiety you have regarding your concussion kind of in the front of your mind. So just kind of keep a focus on that and the negative aspects of it to you. And I encourage anyone who's listening and tapping along to put in the forefront of your mind whatever it is that's worrying you right now, whatever has you feeling anxious, and make that your focus. Even though I'm feeling really anxious, you're going to repeat.
Even though I'm feeling really anxious
and really frustrated by what happened with my concussion.
And really frustrated by what happened with my concussion.
I love, accept, and forgive myself.
I love, accept, and forgive myself.
Even though I just wish I was better already.
Even though I just wish I was better already.
And I don't feel like slowing down for this.
And I don't feel like slowing down for this.
I honor the feeling and accept myself anyway.
I honor the feeling and accept myself anyway.
Even though I really wish this never happened.
Even though I really wish this never happened.
And I feel like it has really messed up my summer.
And I feel like it has really messed up my summer.
And I'm missing out on things that I wanted to do.
And I'm missing out on things that I wanted to do.
And I don't feel great.
And I don't feel great.
I love, accept, and forgive myself.
I love, accept, and forgive myself.
And we're going to go to the top of the head. All of this worry and anxiety.
All of this worry and anxiety.
I work so hard so that I don't feel anxious.
I work so hard so that I don't feel anxious.
And then something like this comes along and just takes the bottom right out.
And then something like this comes along and just takes the bottom right out.
And here I go down the hole.
And here I go down the hole.
And this headache because of my concussion.
And this headache because of my concussion.
And all of this anxiety and fear about my healing process.
And all of this anxiety and fear about my healing process.
I've spent my summer with brain doctors and at concussion clinics.
I've spent my summer with brain doctors and at concussion clinics.
This is not how it was supposed to be.
This is not how it was supposed to be.
And that is just so frustrating to me.
And that is just so frustrating to me.
I'm feeling so overwhelmed by the recovery process.
I'm feeling so overwhelmed by the recovery process.
I feel like I should already be healed.
I feel like I should already be healed.
Who told me this was supposed to be easy?
Who told me this was supposed to be easy?
Who lied to me that this was going to be fast?
Who lied to me that this was going to be fast?
Because it really feels like it's going slow.
Because it really feels like it's going slow.
And I have other things I want to do with my time.
And I have other things that I want to do with my time.
Like go bike riding with my kiddo.
Like go bike riding with my kiddo.
I just want to feel better.
I just want to feel better.
Just want this headache to go away.
Just want this headache to go away.
All of this anxiety and overwhelm.
All of this anxiety and overwhelm.
I'm open to the possibility that a complete healing is totally possible.
I'm open to the possibility that complete healing is totally doable.
You want to tap along with us, buddy? And that the other shoe doesn't have to drop.
And that the other shoe doesn't have to drop.
Who said there's another shoe anyway?
Who said there's another shoe anyway?
Open to the possibility of releasing this anxiety and frustration.
Open to the possibility of releasing this anxiety and frustration.
And enjoying my summer.
And enjoying my summer.
Maybe this is how it is supposed to be.
Maybe this is how it is supposed to be.
Maybe this is my call to slow down.
Maybe this is my call to slow down.
Maybe this is my call to tune into myself.
Maybe this is my call to tune into myself.
And stop taking things so seriously.
And stop taking things so seriously.
Calling my power back into my body.
Calling my power back into my body.
I am whole, complete, and powerful.
I am whole, complete, and powerful.
Now take a nice deep inhale through your nose, Jaymee, and a nice exhale out through the mouth. How are you feeling now?
Pretty good.
Any different headache?
Actually, yes, it doesn't feel as pingy in my side. And I would say I feel more relaxed for sure.
Good. Awesome. Mission accomplished. And hopefully for anybody tapping along, this also helped to lower your cortisol, regulate your nervous system, and get you out of that anxious energy that we can so easily find ourselves spinning around in. It doesn't have to be that way. And gosh, I wish you the best of luck with your recovery. And this kind of work can make a huge difference in recovery for something of this physical nature. So keep tapping and trying it out on different things. And for those of you who tapped along with us today, I always love to hear about results. So shoot me an email, Theresa@theresalearlevine.com. Let me know how it went. I'll bet Jaymee would love to hear from you too, if you got a cool result tapping along with us. And just, keep tapping. Thanks so much for requesting this and doing it along with us today.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.